G'day, boys. Let's turn that intro music off. Oh, Lord. All right, let's do this, Dougie. Lock in, mate. G'day, lads. How are we? Next time that you have the opportunity to fart, cup your hand, put it behind your bum to catch the fart, then throw it up into your nose to smell it after you rip it. I don't think I'll be doing that, mate. I don't think I'll be doing that. How are you, Kenny Ripper? You absolute ripper. No wonder you're talking about ripping farts straight off the bat. What has my chat become? Look at these feet. What has my chat become? I'm still not sure we're keeping these. The Alexa Grasso foot emoji is taking Dougie's channel to the moon. I hate it. I genuinely hate it, but you guys seem to enjoy it, so I don't know. I was looking at it, thinking about turning it off just before I went live, and I thought, you know what? Give him one more. Give him one more. But how are we, boys? What's up, Larry? What's up, Lazza? What's up, Bilal's good eye? How are you, dude? What's up, Nacho? How are you, man? What's up, Yog? The man of the people, Yogathan. He's done it. He's finally achieved the Olympus. He's reached the pinnacle of what it takes to harass an MMA YouTube live stream to the very end. Oh, how are we, boys? What's up, Toad? Toad, as always, Mr. Business. Keeping it on business as well. What was the award that you won this year, Toad? What was it, the All Business Award? What did we name the award? God, I can't remember my own awards. What was the name of the award I gave you, Toad? You're living up to it. You're keeping it all business straight away. Holloway is coming off a loss. And Oliveira is coming off a win. So everyone is picking Charles Oliveira. If you asked people 2 to 3 months ago, they would all say Max. And Nacho says the foot emoji is life. Oh, Toad. This conversation. Toad would be no fun at parties. No, Toad would be super necessary at parties. Because I've been, and I'm Nacho. After knowing that you know the good old shout of the wild, show us where you piss from, I know that you boys have been to some house parties where if you don't have someone like Toad there to keep things on track, you end up just setting fire to the neighbor's fence. I know, we've all been to a party without a Toad in it. We need Toad. The channel needs Toad. Look at where we are. We don't even talk about MMA anymore. We just argue about Alexa Grasso's feet. We need Toad. Toad is a cornerstone of Dougie's Corner. He is the corner on which we rest. Using good logic, I still think... Using good logic, but I still think Charles, because now there is 2 to 3 months have passed, and we just saw Max get KO'd. Does no one care about my take? With the Max Holloway moving back up to 155 and his chin... most likely recovering now that he doesn't have to make the horrible weight cut. It's very weird to me. I've got to be honest with you guys. It's very, very strange to me how the entire MMA community has gone from Max Holloway has the best chin. Thank you, Nacho, for re-upping your membership for 5 months with the insane levels of heat that we have been throwing at each other non-stop. Thank you, Nacho. I really appreciate it, man. That's a sign of a true friend, you know? We abuse each other, but he still pays me. That's how you know Nacho's a real one. Dougie getting thirsty with all the foot... No, what's up, not the AM, bro? How are you, dude? Fuck, I've got to get rid of these foot emojis. The feet must stay. All right, listen. I'll make you guys a deal, okay? I will make you guys a deal, and this is the stream to prove it, all right? Don't spam them. I don't want to see blocks of feet in the chat. Chuck them in. They're funny. We can keep the foot emoji, but I don't want to see blocks of feet. Thank you, not the AM, bro, for 2 months of membership. Thank you. No, I don't want to see block licks. Listen, if there's a sick knockout or there's a moment, if there's a spammy block moment, fine. You know, if the moment calls for it, if Anthony Smith knocks out Johnny Walker, we can spam feet. But I don't want walls and walls of feet. Okay, we can maybe at the start of the stream spam, but I don't want walls of feet spamming all the time. So a couple of feet here and there, who can say no to a guy? But I don't want walls of feet. And if we can find a happy middle ground, the feet can stay. I think that's a fair request, chat. Pre-feet, feet spamming. Pre-stream, feet spamming. During the hold scream, go nuts. And then at the end of the stream when I'm doing my whole, well, it's the end of the video, guys. Go check out this fucking playlist and let's go raid that bastard. Yeah. But when we're in the stream, come on, boys. I think that's fair. Right. Let's read some chats. Next time, Dougie getting all right. Next Guru Raid, there's going to be so many memberships of people that just want to buy the foot emoji. Just think of the money, man. Think of the cash that we could make selling foot emojis. This is the peak of the internet, man. Oh, God. That's interesting to mention, though, because the entire argument that chat made... Thank you for the $1, Nacho. I appreciate it. I feel like that's a good signal of we've found a good middle ground. Thank you, Nacho, for the $1 membership. And thank you, Not the Ambro, for re-upping your membership, mate. I really appreciate it. Okay, Larry, he's all business. And now, Larry, I will read out your comment right here. But the point of today's stream is you guys left so many good comments about the argument that we were having with the back and forth about Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. And Nacho left a comment as well about John Jones deciding to get paid. That rather than in the back end, rather than having a tier list loaded up, I have got the comments section loaded up. So when we get to it, and we will get to it in today's chat, in today's live stream, I will read out your comment, Larry. I will read out TCW's comment. Nacho, I will read out your comments as well, because it does feel like Team Charles Oliveira feels very, very misdone by in that video that I made. I feel like it was not a fair argument presented in the Charles Oliveira Max Holloway video, and that my argument of, well, it's just Charles Oliveira, they're not happy about that, and they didn't feel like they got their fair shake. So I will read them out now. Now that all the preamble is done, let us get into the stream, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Alex? How are you, brother? That's interesting to mention, though, because the entire argument chat made for Charles not being able to win was actually just an argument that he wouldn't be able to finish him. So if he wasn't coming off a decision win, they probably wouldn't even be arguing that. Was actually an argument that he wouldn't be able to finish him. So if he wasn't coming off a decision win, are you talking about Charles Oliveira coming off a decision win, or are you talking about Max Holloway if he wasn't just coming off a decision win? Wouldn't even be able to get that. Can we get a couple? Yep. What is this? A dictatorship? In a way. Well, no, I feel, yeah, it is a bit of a dictatorship, but I'm talking to the people to try and make it good for both of them. The pre-stream feet spamming is safe. It is. Also interesting that Charles is such a prolific finisher that even after okay, so you're talking about Charles Oliveira winning a decision. Okay, I'm here. Even after winning a decision, still people equate him not being able to get a finish without not being able to win. I don't know if that's what we said in the video. This is the thing. I feel like my arguments were being taken out of context. I don't think we said that. I said, how would Charles finish Charles Oliveira? And I don't think Charles would finish Charles Oliveira with... I don't think Charles Oliveira would finish Max Holloway with striking, because I don't believe the idea that Max Holloway's chin has just dried up and disappeared. We've seen fighters get knocked out before, and they've been able to have a long career after one knockout. I'll bring up Islam Makhachev. He's been knocked out, but you wouldn't call Islam Makhachev chinny. Volk's wobbled him. Dustin's wobbled him. Plenty of people have wobbled him. So I don't believe that Max Holloway is chinny yet. All I'm asking for is for us to see one more fight before we take the greatest chin that the UFC has ever seen, right? You've got Max Holloway and John Jones, the two best chins we've ever seen. And before you just go and burn their chin and throw them on the fucking James Vick, Johnny Walker pile, let us just see one more fight. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Eric Flat? How are you, brother? What do you call a man with a shovel in his head? Doug. What do you call a man without a shovel in his head? Doug Less. Oh, shit, boys. It's primary school. I haven't heard that one in bloody years, mate. Eric, that made me feel nostalgic, brother. Thank you. I'm watching you and No Chill simultaneously. Half as sad or twice as sad? Half as sad. Half as sad. At least one of us will make sense half the time, and then the other one will just be... How dare No Chill go live while I'm live? How dare he? Love a bit of preamble. I feel like we had to get the business out of the way first, Nacho. All right. I waited too late for it, but I was trying to shorten mine up before you went live. Got cut down a decent bit, but not as much as I would have liked. Well, Larry, like I said, we're going to read it out. So if I don't get the point of it across, you let me know, okay? Where is Christian Grey? I made the fight in your hand comment hours ago and saved it to a clipboard just for the competition. There's nothing worse than being like, how am I going to get one over chat today? And then your chat member just isn't there. I remember the first time we had the foot emoji I remember the first time we had the foot emoji poll, and Yog wasn't there for the poll. There's nothing worse, mate. Nothing worse. Oh, here's Christian Gray. Here we go. What's up, brother? How are you, dude? I think Charles, due to the amount of damage he's taken, will be more hesitant on the feet than Max. With the crazy speed he's shown in the Gaethje fight, we'll get the goal. He'll get the volume going to win by TKO or decision. Yeah, I think it would be Max via decision now. The more that I've played the fight over and over in my head. And a lot of it's got to do with point 3 or point 4 that Larry brought up. So we'll have to get to that. Because I feel like Larry didn't quite understand what I was saying when I was talking about Charles being able to roll with Charles. When I was talking about Max Holloway being able to roll with Charles Oliveira shots, where Ilia Tapurias are a lot harder to roll with. And it all comes down to the range. Charles Oliveira stays at a much further range than Ilia Tapuria, who likes to get inside and do a lot of work up in close. Well, Charles Oliveira is very rangy, and I feel like when you've got the rangier striker, it's easier to see those shots coming and roll with them, especially when you're as seasoned as Max Holloway is. Holloway is too good on the feet. His chin will be better at 155. Thank you, Coach Nathan. I don't feel like anyone on Team Oliveira was thinking that at all. You know what we should do? After I read everyone's chats, Larry, and everyone's comments that they left, we ended up at pretty much 50-50 last time we ran the poll. At the end of this stream, in 45 or so minutes, in 50 minutes or so, at the end of the stream, we're going to run the who would win poll again, and we'll see whether or not we can get that 50-50 number to budge. What do you call a man laying in front of a door? Matt. Bilal's good eye. You've been good before, but that was not good, mate. I want you to hold the welder up to your arm for 3 seconds for that one. Horrible. What's up, Nick23 MMA? I'm feeling a Spivak underdog win. I was thinking the same thing. Sergey Spivak, great fight. I don't feel like Jailton Almeida will get this one. I don't know. I feel like Spivak will be like, I'll just copy Chris Curtis. Curtis Blades. Yeah. Max has the record for having absolutely more significant strike than anyone else in the history of the UFC. He has literally taken way more damage. He has taken more damage. He has. But I still don't think that we just throw his chin in the bin. I can only see Max winning, and I like Charles. Here's the fun thing about it, Coach Nate. We love everyone. Like, we love them both. We absolutely love them both. Thought on the Seattle announcements. Cejudo versus Yadong. Cruz versus Font. So many. Craziness. Also, not the only other news. Apparently, Dana White has now partnered with Meta as well. There's a lot of news that has come out today that we're not going to get to talk about. We'll have to make videos about it. But yeah, straight away, I think I'm going to be picking Yadong to beat Henry Cejudo. I think Henry Cejudo's just lost a step. And Dominic Cruz versus Rob Font. I can't believe they got Dominic Cruz to sign a fight. I think it's very, very smart for him to fight Rob Font. I'm probably going to be going with Cruz in that one. Shots that Max has rolled with for the most part. Charles has gotten his brain rattled like 25 to 35 times at this point. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, Charles' plan is to be a little bit reckless on the feet because if he does get knocked down, he's got recovery time when he drops himself onto his own back and hopes that people follow him down. Should I get tickets for UFC Seattle? Yes. 1,000 times yes. It's an awesome card. Plus, having just gotten KO'd almost always makes people more tentative on the feet. It usually doesn't even weaken their chin. It just changes the way they fight and they get caught. A hypothetical argument for a fight we haven't seen yet. A hypothetical argument for a fight. I have to see it first, Larry. I've got to see this new Max Holloway that you guys are hypotheticalizing. That's not a fucking word. Being hypothetical about. What's up, Eric? How are you, dude? Where's the shirt? Just on the other side of this wicker basket. People talking about Max in the Justin Gaethje fight when he took 25 minutes to get him out of there. Charles subbed him in the first round. Charles is more skilled everywhere than Max. I don't know if he is, man. Charles and Max's striking is really good. Really, really good. Really good. It might be 50-50 on the feet. Or maybe Max like 60% to Charles's 40% on the feet. I'll give myself 50 lashings. Good, sir. You're better than that. I know you are. You know, if that was DJ Aiden, I'd let it pass. But if from you, Bilal's good eye, I know you're better than that. When is the USA trip? Looking like it'll be mid to late this year, brother. Mid to late this year. I will let you know when more information arises. Charles wasn't left nearly as paralyzed last time he fought Max. Let's not act like Charles was left nearly paralyzed last time he fought Max. Let's not act like Holloway has taken more damage overall. I feel like you got to take on how much Charles Oliveira took from that one fight to how much Max Holloway has taken from, like, say, the damage, obviously, that he got in Ilia Topuria, but also how much Alexander Volkanovski kicked his ass. Breaking news, Dana White slowly becomes... Slowly? Do you know who owns the UFC? Dougie, I sent a banger meme in Discord right now. Please show it on the stream. We need more meme analysis. We've got a lot to get through right now, Kenny Ripper. Maybe if the stream quietens down a little bit. But we have a lot to do on today's to-do list. Sorry, brother. I pray not the case, but I don't think it will. But could end up being a Tony-esque situation. Oh, DJ Eden, guess what? Chris Gray, I'm celebrating 30 subs, and I told No Chill MMA to set up a celebration. DJ Eden's 30 sub stream. Are you coming to... Oh, we're having a party over at No Chill stream. Cool, man. Cool. Can we start doing an MMA meme review? You know what? I might record an MMA meme review and then just chuck it up in the members section. How about that, Kenny Rips? That might be something good for the members. Max got taken down by a year, though, and almost got his back taken in one of them. Yet he got back up, Nick23, and that is a good point that Larry brought up in his comment. Every argument you made was hypothetical. I guess that's... But, no, hang on, no. Hypothetical arguments drawn from actual fight scenarios, where you are talking about this Max in the future that we haven't seen yet. I'm bringing up examples from their past and using it to create a hypothetical situation, where you are just saying, fighters generally become more chinny in the future. Like, well... Let's see this Max first. Let's see a more chinny Max, right? What if Whittaker actually broke his jaw making out with Hamzat backstage before the fight? Dricus du Plessis would be very jealous that he got to make out with someone so hard his jaw snapped. Charles clearly is much more versatile striker. You could say versatile versus effective. Max is better boxing. Charles is more fully developed striking game, 50-50 or 60-40. God, we're really splitting hairs here, but okay. I love this community. It feels like a family. Thank you, Bilal's good eye. It does feel like a family, constantly arguing with each other, yet coming back to the dinner table the next night. It does, doesn't it? It's good. It feels like a healthy MMA community. So thank you very much for the $3, mate. I appreciate it. Have you heard of a sleepy... I don't know what that is, and I don't like it. Charles's esophagus got injured in his first fight with Max. He wasn't nearly paralyzed. Thank you, Larry, for clearing that up. Hypothetically, if Max and Oliveira fought, one would win. I mean, if he ain't winning, he ain't losing. Bilal's good eye. You are the creepy uncle that hugs my daughter for too long. No such thing, mate. No such thing. Right, let's read everyone's comments now that we've caught up with chat. Let us do Larry's first. It was the most poignant and the one that I promised that I would get to, and then we'll get to TCWs, and then we'll get to Nachos. We'll get through them all. I promise, guys. You know I don't want to leave you guys hanging. That's not the kind of community we're trying to build here. Right, boys, don't comment for a second. This is going to take a minute to read out. So we'll get through. I don't know how we're going to fucking do this. This is almost a video on its own. Maybe this should have been a video. I don't fucking know. Let's do this together. Here we go. Transition across. All right. That is not correct. I had you... Why were you lined up beautifully a second ago? And now that I'm... You know, YouTube, you really try and bust my balls. All right, here we go, boys. Larry says, fake news, fact check time. This is a great comment left by Larry. He put a lot of work into this comment, and I feel bad not giving it its airtime. So here we go, boys. Stop... Make sure that's the edited shorter version. It doesn't say edited. I don't have any other comments from you, Larry, this in depth. So guess what, brother? This is the one we're riding with. All right, here we go, boys. Fake news fact check time. This is Larry's magnum opus of arguing with Dougie's corner. Number 1, says Larry. Charles doesn't need to take him down or even knock him down. He only needs to get about 65% of the way around past his shoulder or break his posture to get his head down to his chest height, both of which he has multiple ways to accomplish. About 1/3 of his rear naked chokes have been in the standing position. Sorry, guys. You know me and reading. Here we go. About 1/3 of his rear naked chokes have been in the standing position, and about 1/3 of his head and arm chokes have been standing and not when he was going for a takedown. So Larry's first point is that he doesn't even need to take down Max Holloway to beat him. He can take him down simply by standing up and getting over the top. Interesting point from Larry. About 1/3. That is I mean, he's got a lot of submissions. Here we go. All right, point number 2. I'm sure some idiots out there think pure collegiate wrestling is good in MMA, but anyone who knows anything knows that it's simply a good base to start building your MMA wrestling on. Gaethje has 0 MMA wrestling ability. Chandler's isn't the best in the world, but he does have, I guess you mean he does have MMA wrestling. He got 42% of the takedowns he went for on Dustin. Islam only got 31%. He got 5 minutes of control time across the 12-minute fight. Islam only got 10 across the 22 minutes. So what you're arguing here is that Michael Chandler has got better MMA wrestling than Islam Makhachev. There is perhaps some chance that Max has better technical takedown defense, but he has also... But he's also got to be more susceptible due to the body type compared to Chandler's. See, this is something I disagreed with you on here, Larry. I think the body type, the lanky body type of Max Holloway is actually better for takedown defense than the short, stocky body type. But, okay. So, if anything, it would probably balance out. Realistically, though, beyond Ilya, Volk, Ortega, even Yair took Max down. There is no reason at all to doubt that Charles can take him down if he wants to. Max got up against those guys. He did. That's always my biggest argument. You might be able to take Max Holloway down, but you might not be able to keep him there. But, according to Larry, A, Charles doesn't need to hold him down to get the sub because of point number 1, where he can do it via standing submissions. And B, that's a bad call to try and get up. It's in the transitions, like when someone is trying to get up, that is when Charles gets most of his subs. It would probably be better for Max to simply stay down and defend and just be losing minutes instead of getting finished. I don't see Max doing that. Let me read your chats. Let me read your chats, and then we'll get through the other. We're halfway through Larry's exceedingly good comment. Let me read your chats. In my family, the more Christian you are, the higher the chance you are. Okay, Kenny Ripper. Let's see Larry Cook. Refresh to see the comment. This is fresh up, Eric. This is fresh on up. If Dougie comes to Miami, we got to rip fat dabs, hit the casino, then end the night BT on the river. That sounds messy and something my near 40-year-old liver would no longer be able to handle. Not when his opponent was going for a takedown. I didn't say it. I didn't. Okay. Chandler was washed in that Oliveira fight. He's a guy who relied on his athleticism that no longer exists. True. Stocky is better for takedown defense. I disagree. I just plain disagree with that. I think we're seeing this new takedown defense come to life in MMA. We're seeing it a lot from the likes of, say, Israel Adesanya or Sean O'Malley or Max Holloway constantly be able to get back up, or Sean Woodson, where I think there's going to be a new meta emerging in MMA where you need to have like a lanky basketball player-esque length. And when you have that and you learn good MMA takedown defense, especially using the cage, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was true in the past. I don't know if that's going to be true going forward, Kenny Ripper. But let's press on. Okay, well, maybe for some types of takedowns, it's definitely harder to shoot for the legs on a shorter, but that is true. It's harder to shoot for the legs on a shorter guy. I think the lankier guy has more to work with. Larry ain't lied yet. Charles is great at snatching. I know, this is what makes Larry's comments so good. He when I'm like, boys, bring me an argument based in facts and logic, Larry and Toad are very, very good at this. So let us press on. If you're the same weight, the lankier guy can keep more distance to defend the takedown, but the stockier guy is going to be hard for the skinnier guy to work leverage on. I get what you're saying. Yep. W. Larry, hijacking the stream as always. No Chill got sniped by them. Well, that's going to happen, you know. Refresh, there's a new comment. Eric, I will refresh. You'll wait in line. I think the grappler at lightweight will give him huge problems. I don't think he beats a good amount. I think the grapplers at lightweight will give him huge problems. I don't think he beats a good Armin. Let's not open up a whole other can of worms right now, Nick 23. Let's stick to this one right now. The longer the body, the more area your opponents have to grab and leverage your weight against you. It's simple science and physics. You're not wrong. But also, the longer your body is, the more you have to leverage against the cage to stay up with. it's the same argument. Like you're using the argument of, well, they've got more room to grab and to try and get you down. And I'm using the argument of, well, they've got more pivot points to try and stay up. I'm Stucky and I wrestled for 7 years. Kenny Ripper's pulling out the, well, I did it, mate. All right, let's press on with Larry's comment here. Okay, we covered the wrestling part. Why does this keep moving every time I come back to it? On God, bruh. Larry, I swear to God, dude, YouTube is trying to censor you, mate. All right. He could get him on his back and sub him. So what? There's like a 30% chance. Oh, this is what I said. All right, you're quoting me. He could get him on his back and sub him, said Dougie the dickhead. So what? That's like a 30% chance. Other than Chandler, who has survived having Charles Oliveira on their back, his finishing rate from the back is high. His overall finishing rate. This is a sick comment. Eric, you never ever donate $100. This is a sick comment. His overall finish rate is 90%. And with just a few expectations over the last 11 years, the only people he hasn't gotten a hold of or submitted are the people that he has KO'd instead. How exactly is it supposed to be easier to roll with Charles's shots other than Ilya's? You're just describing the body head as if it's in any way unique. Ilya has elite boxing, that doesn't separating. Just saying that was a poor way to make it sound like something special. What I was talking about was the range control. How Ilya isn't in much I covered that at the start of the stream. I don't need to go over it again. I covered that at the start of the stream. It's easier to roll with basic fundamental boxing than other more complex unorthodox styles of striking. There's simply far less to look out for, and it's not as difficult to read. Ilya is simply an elite boxer. It's not his style that is hard to roll with. It is him that is hard to roll with. Not to mention, we've discussed how to evaluate big shots that don't really hurt someone versus the smaller shots in high volume for the sake of judging. And you, Dougie, agree that it is tough, but ultimately you've said it comes down to how it looks to the judges. And generally, the big shots are what look better. Okay. Point number 5. We don't know how Max's chin will be compared to how it was, but we also don't know how well it would have held up against Charles before he got KO'd. He may have been fine, but according to Dustin and Justin, Charles hits the hardest out of the three of them, and Dustin had Max on shaky legs multiple times. That's not fair. That is not fair. Max Holloway was not ready for that weight cut. I know it wasn't down to 145. It was down to 155, but that was still on short notice. It was on short notice for Max Holloway. And that was during his era of being shit with weight cuts. That's when we were constantly wondering whether or not he was even going to make it to 145. What's up, Rob's neighbor? How are you, dude? We're just tearing through a red hot solid comment that got left for me by Larry in the stream. Where were you? Where were you, Larry? Where were you? Max had him on shaky legs multiple times, and Justin dropped him. If Justin could drop him when he had properly prepared for lightweight and before he got KO'd, and Charles hits harder than Justin, we can safely assume that Max will be able to eat his shots no problem. It's possible, but it's not an assumption that we can back up with any actual logic. I listened back to that part of the stream, and no one made any actual arguments for why Max beats Charles. That is not correct. Toad has been making some awesome arguments for why Max beats Charles. The closest they came to it was saying that Max is younger and Charles has taken too much damage, ignoring the fact that Max has literally absorbed the most significant strikes in the entire history of the UFC. But really, all they did was give reasons to why they think Charles wouldn't be able to finish Max, all of which I have covered above, and which is a completely different thing. So let me ask you, this is it, we're at the end of the comments now, boys, and then I'll get back to the chats. So let me ask you, exactly how does Max beat Charles? Basically, all you gave were reasons why you think Charles wouldn't finish Max. The only thing you said for Max is the offensive abilities, that he is a better boxer, and so what? He's going to put Charles out cold when Dustin, Justin, and Chandler all couldn't put out Charles Oliveira cold. In all likelihood, no, definitely not. If he knocks him down, he is going to follow him to the ground and grab a sub or TKO. You already said that Max Holloway wouldn't follow Charles Oliveira to the ground at all. So no, he is not going to sub him. Which also means he won't be doing the only thing we've seen anyone do to win a decision over him in the past 11 years, which is to take Charles Oliveira down, get him pressed up against the cage where he can't effectively work his jiu-jitsu. So since Charles has more power to damage with and an infinitely greater ability to win minutes on the ground and get at least some good sub attempts, there is no realistic path for Max to finish Charles. What's he gonna do? Volume punch him, motherfucker? Well done, Larry. Well done. That's a great argument. Everyone take a minute. Let's get into the chats. Good one, Larry. Really good one. Really good one. I genuinely, by the way, guys, if I make a video, like, I don't see any path to victory for Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev, or Max Holloway beats Charles Oliveira 70% of the time. If I make a video like that, I genuinely love comments like this because it makes me a better MMA YouTuber when I get this, like, hive mind of information coming at me. So I don't know why, like, other MMA YouTubers might get shitty at being picked apart, but I genuinely enjoy it. So here we go. Where was I at? All right. Now. Refresh. All right. Now that we're here on the front end, I'll refresh. What if instead of fighting, they just started making out? Very good, Eric. Can we please play on now? Refund Eric's dono. He never donoed. What's more important, though? The length or the girth? It's the girth. The girth is more important. Absolutely. It actually just kind of shows It actually just kind of shows in the Olympics. Look at the Olympic wrestler build. Almost no... This is... Kenny, the Olympic wrestling versus MMA wrestling is like one of my biggest MMA fallacies, if you will. Like, Olympic wrestling has got almost nothing to do with MMA wrestling. Refresh or I refund. All right, cool. What about Armin? Nobody holds him down, and he is stocky. I'm not saying being stocky isn't good. I'm just arguing that I feel like lanky is better in modern MMA. That's all I'm saying, Nick. Bo Nichols lanky. Bo Nichols naked. You blue jade me. I just read it out. Okay, I saw the 100 dono, Eric. I got you back, Eric. That's why I only messaged. Okay, fair enough. He had 6 weeks though. Max, we're talking Max versus Dustin 1. I feel like that was the short notice one. Or am I getting that confused, chat? Am I getting that confused with Max Holloway cutting down to step in on short notice, and instead they went with Ally Quinta? I might be getting confused. Comment, this is a blog post. That's why I had to read it out in the chat. The more we talk about it, the more I'm convinced Charles pieces up Max and subs him in the third. Bloodbath, put a fork in him, make Larry great again. The feet emoji has risen from the ashes. Also, Dustin said Connor hits harder. He didn't say Charles. Max is a walking CTE study. 3 years ago, here we go, Toad is punching back. 3 years ago, when Oliveira was 32, his style worked a lot better than it will in the future. Max will be too fast for the old man and KO him in a classic Holloway legendary performance. I do think Max's speed and power is going to carry up like it usually does when we see guys come from a lower weight class and move up. Getting passport sheet tomorrow, I must see Barboza. Joe Rogan licking the feet. Islam Makhachev is confused as to why. Toad, it was clear of the Chandler fight that Charles has evolved. He fought a lot more patiently with a higher fight IQ. He is adjusting his style to do more damage while taking... It does seem like we are getting into the version of Charles and Magomedov, where Charles Oliveira seems to be employing I'm an old man, I must be Moicano, and start wrestling a little bit more. Dougie, when's your 50th birthday? Are we going to do a butter Pop-Tart stream then, mate? We'll do a butter Pop-Tart stream one day. Like the legendary foot emoji, if you keep fighting for it, it will happen. It will happen. Cheers, mate. Good argument. What is your annual essay? Did Larry write that? Larry wrote that. I rate this essay as a solid B+. No, it's good. It's a good essay. More people need to use that Islam golf swing takedown against Poya. It can prevent the opponent. The Islam golf swing takedown. I know we've talked about this before, Cayman. I know we've talked about this before. I just can't picture it right now. I'm picturing Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway fighting each other right now. Holloway only loses to superior strikers, which Oliveira is not. At 155, Max Holloway will carry more power. I thought the last line was pretty perfect. Shout out to the last line was so good. The last line was so good. People forget, man. People forget. Dougie thinks Dougie is lanky, and that's why he's defending them. I know I'm not lanky. I'm 178 centimeters tall. Precisely, Nacho. He had a second kid before the Chandler Mini match. We saw that happen. I'll give the paper an A+. Call me good takedown defense. They were both lengthy. What's up, crossover? Who is the current best fighter from Australia and New Zealand? Oh, shout out to Crossover MMA boys. Let's do this while we're here. What's up, crossover? What's good, mate? Let's do this while we're here. Shout out to Crossover MMA. Go check him out. Super professional and funny at the same time breakdowns. He has been working throughout the Christmas break. Just dropped a Mackenzie Dern takes on Amanda Ribas UFC Vegas 101 predictions video. So after this video, go check out Crossover MMA. Who is the current best fighter from Australia and New Zealand? You would have to say currently it would be JDM, but I do think Jack Jenkins is going to be the next big star. I'm very big on Jack Jenkins. Right, now that Larry's had his moment in the sun, boys, let's bury this. This is it, boys. Let's put this behind us. There's no bias in my typing. There's no bias. This is it. Let's put this behind. How long's the stream been going for? We got other comments that I need to get through. Maybe I'll pick them up a little bit later. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm trying, boys. Here we go. The comment section. We're back at 50-50. What is happening? What is happening? Max Holloway's pulling away. I thought that was written like Ariel or something. It was a greatly written paragraph from Larry. It was great. It was. That's why I was like, I either need to make a video about this or I just got to bring it to the chat. I was like, I'll bring it to the chat, and that way it's saved on the channel forever. Like it's on the channel. You could always go back, and we know we covered that. How many people are in here? Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry, let me read everyone's chats. Call me good takedown defense because I'll be lengthy, says Eric. I think lanky sucks with stocky that is relentless wrestling, limitless cardio, and solid boxing. It's not even comparative. You know, Cayman, what you just jogged in my memory there, mate? And as much as I've just pointed out, you know, Leon Edwards and Israel Adesanya and Sean O'Malley, what you've just made me think of there is picturing Leon Edwards against Bilal Muhammad and picturing Sean O'Malley against Merab Dvalishvili. But even then, yeah, they're hard. Neither lanky nor stocky is better MMA. You just develop your style around your body type to put it in a very broad perspective. That is very well said, Cage. Very nuanced take. Very true as well. Ayo, crossover. It's obviously Jamie Malarkey. Dustin and Charles hit harder than Justin. Still very interesting that Conor beat Max with grappling long time ago, not representative of Max. Just a weird thing to think about. Yeah, it's hard to bring up those fights. You know, I didn't even really want to bring up like Max versus Charles 1 because it was fucking 10 years ago, man. Like 10 years. 10 years ago, I don't think you're the same fighter that you were 10 years ago. I don't think you can be the same fighter that you were 10 years ago. Chandler was a shell of himself, who wasn't that good in the first fight. People love bringing up classic Oliveira moments, but forget all the times that he has looked shit. I think that's a very big problem with Charles Oliveira striking, is he's open and he's okay to get hit and get knocked down onto the ground. But just like saying we don't know if Max Holloway... Well, that's not the same. Yeah. I was going to say, we don't know if Max Holloway's chin is bad yet or not, but we do know new Charles Oliveira wants to implement more grappling and more wrestling in the future. That was a penis joke if it wasn't. No, it was, Eric. No, it was. JDM and Allberg, both great. Both great, Coach Nate. I will never give up on the Pop-Tart madness, nor should you, Christian Grey. Get it? Because I have a big penis. Eric just wants everyone to know in this chat room full of men that he's absolutely packing. So, guys... I want you all to know that Eric wants you all to know about the length and girth of his man meat. You'd think he would go to some sort of makeup stream for that, you know, some sort of lifestyle chick stream. But no, he has decided to just come to a almost exclusively, Jamie hasn't said a damn word, so I assume Jamie's trying to zone out. And it almost exclusively men-only stream and just wants to talk about the size of his penis. That's the kind of guy that Eric is. I would be putting him in the John Jones pile myself. Let us move on. Uncle Doug. Uncle Doug? All right, that's mean. Who's the best grappler Max has faced at 145? Probably Ortega, I would say. The best fighter from the Anzacs is Justin Tuffer. Nacho, stop it. You're going to shit yourself. He's going to make his opponent leave the cage on a stretcher and leave one himself because he had an asthma attack after the fight. Fucking hell. I thought that was written by like Ariel something. Start the count, man. He may have only lost to superior strikers, but what comparable grappler has he fought? None. The joke at the end, the volume punch him, motherfucker. Yeah, no soy analyst would chuck in a meme like that. Larry, he fought Oliveira, Ortega too. Yep. Charles and Max were both very different then. Charles didn't have a kid yet. He wasn't Dad Oliveira. Remember Dad Cowboy boys? That was my cowboy. That was the era I was in. Dad Cowboy. I think his style sucks against the best boxing, kickbo, cardio, strength fight. I could... Okay. Trust my gut, 35 is rough. Oliveira will get punished by his undisciplined striking, and his wrestling isn't good enough. I can't believe after all of that. I'm going to stop the vote. That's 13 votes. We are still essentially at 50-50. What's up, Miguel? How's Melbourne? It's fucking hot, mate. How are you, Miguel? I hope you're doing good. Are you going to stream this garbage card this week? Of course, mate. I'm in. I'm all in. Leverage physics not used in bricklaying. Dougie having an epiphany of destiny. Okay, leveraging physics not used in bricklaying. Dougie having an epiphany of destiny. Matt's what are you fucking on about, Ripper? Oh my god. Women can't appreciate the big penis, right, guys? Jamie thinking about her toes. Okay, alright. Let's get back to the fun. The comments. The comments. Where was Nacho's comment? No, let's do TCW. No, let's go to Nacho's. Where's Nacho's comment? Nacho said, where are we? Nacho said, the arguments for Charles are he's faster, he's the better grappler, more power in his hands. Don't know about that one. And feet, hasn't just been KO'd brutally. I feel like we covered that pretty well. I cannot believe that this is at a 155 to 46. Actually crazy to me that that is where that has landed. Where's TCW? Hang on, I'm just looking for TCWs. Okay. TCW says, I should have been on this chat. Holloway just isn't complete enough to heat up Charles. He's got low power, not amazing takedown defense. With Charles, that doesn't mean anything since he subs from the clinches, like you were saying, Larry. He can sub from standing up. If Max's hands were stronger, it would be an issue. But the dude got thumped by 3 power punches. Chandler, Dustin, and Justin, and he's recovered from every single one. So I'm assuming TCW is saying that Charles Oliveira is going to have absolutely no problem at all taking the strikes from Max Holloway. Max needs hundreds on hundreds to close that gap. Chandler has only been taken down by Charles, and Max has been taken down by like 4 guys. So your takedown argument isn't very good, Dougie. Thank you, TCW. Thank you, mate. We covered that. Now, Nacho's comment on today's video. Nacho's comment. Today's video, by the way, guys, just so we have a little bit of clarity on what we were talking about. I was talking about John Jones apparently is going to land his $30 million deal to fight Tom Aspinall. And when I went and started researching that to see if that was true, a lot of the comment sections say that he deserves it. And I felt like saying that John Jones probably one of, if not the worst employee this company has ever seen. To say that he deserves the highest payday out of any athlete we've ever had when he has also been caught cheating. Watch the video. I go through it all in the video. Essentially, Jon Jones absolutely, categorically, I think I gave 4 or 5 reasons why Jon Jones doesn't deserve a $30 million payday. Nacho disagreed. It was a day of L's for me on the internet. I have to disagree with this one too, Dougie. Jones has sold a lot more pay-per-views than a bunch of boxers who got paid shitloads more than him. I think he has definitely earned a going out payday. Another common Dougie L. This one's pretty easy to argue against. Just because some other guy at another company makes a better salary than you doesn't magically mean that your salary should be more. Especially when you've just negotiated with your boss 2 years ago for your current salary. And you know that the business you're re-signing into. Retarded argument. All right, let's go. Hey, bro, what are you smoking on? What's up, Miguel? I'm not smoking on anything. I'm just hanging out, talking to chat. I think I made it pretty clear what I've been doing. Okay, if you think about it, this guy is laughing by himself in an empty room with nobody around him. I'm in an apartment building. My girlfriend's in the other room, and I'm with you guys. I'm hanging out with you. There's also a balcony where I can see the other... There's plenty of people here, mate. They're probably sick of me yapping every afternoon. You can't say that, Nacho. Everyone made jokes about it before, but now they want to argue that Charles has taken more damage. They ignore that Max speaks fluency to you. Yeah, Max's speech therapy is not going well. We'll find out Saturday night. The best is best, baby. The best express, baby. Yeah. He's in a half room area. Yeah, I'm in the office that I rent, mate. I pay rent to be in this empty room without any Golden Gay times. True. Dougie, none of us are real. I actually ran all these accounts and pretend to have different personalities. I truly believe that Yog and Magomed, there's multiple personalities in here. There's probably only about 3 people watching this stream. Charles whoops Max and ends his career. I can't believe that after all this back and forth arguing, where everyone has had their comments fairly and evenly heard, we went from 50-50 to pretty much 50-50. Craziness. Crazy. Grilled armadillo for a barbecue stream. If we end up doing a barbecue stream, it will be chops. Chops on the barbecue at sunset with beers with some tzatziki. That's what we're going to do. Yair Rodriguez took Max down. End of the debate on whether or not Charles could get him down. Could Max get back up though? Well, then Charles would sub him in the transitions. I get it. I hear you, Larry. I hear you. I don't think Jon Jones does deserve that 30 mil because he isn't going to generate more than 300. I do think that Jon Jones deserves that 30 million because the event is going to generate more than $300 million. Why do you think that, Kenny Ripper? In what world do you think the event will generate more than $300 million in an era that has been destroyed by pirating and where the UFC generally get paid on about 200 to 300,000 pay-per-view buys through ESPN? If Charles didn't get hurt in that first one, he would have subbed Max back then. Maybe. Ifs and buts with sugar and nuts, then my balls would taste like honey. I'm trying to find out where I am in the stream. Miguel, hey bro. And more than that, 30 mil is going to come in because of Jon Jones. Is it? Shit. 1 second. I'm here, chat. I'm here. I'm right here, chat. Don't freak out. Don't go anywhere. I haven't been hacked. There we go. I'm back. All right, sweet. If it did generate a high amount of money, it wouldn't be just because of Jon Jones. It would have been because of the dance partner that Jon Jones is with. Jon Jones was just with Stipe Miocic. It didn't even make close to that, Kenny Ripper. But because it's Tom Aspinall as well, that really, if you're going to take like a $30 million payday, you should split it between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, since they're the one. It's the 2 names on the docket that are selling that fight. We know that Jon Jones doesn't sell pay-per-views on his own. I hate Jon Jones. Not even okay. It's cooked how many people use the same evidence to say a chin is good or finish. Just listening to who they've been hit. What's up, Portuguese Herzog? How are you, man? It's cooked how people use the same evidence to say a chin is good or finish. Just listing who they've been hit hard by. Like, yeah, bro, it could go either way. Yeah, a lot of whether or not you get chinned seems to be from whether or not you see the shot coming and how old you are and how bad your weight cut has been, not who has hit you. Imagine being Dougie's apartment neighbor and you hear him talking to yourself with the window open like this. Oh, dude, on Sundays? Remember, it's Sunday during the day when I stream the fights for 8 hours and I have the balcony window open. And I know for a fact that my neighbors can hear me just blabbing away and screaming and talking about the shit that we talk about. Fair speculation to make, Chris. Can't say for sure, but that wasn't long after Conor beat him with the grappling. Yep. Whoa, did Dougie just say... did Dougie just self-expose that he created the Grasso foot meme? Kind of makes sense if you think about it. What, you think I'm one of the alter egos in here? No. I think Max beats Oliveira unless Oliveira beats him because if he ain't winning, he's probably losing. And if he ain't losing, he's probably winning. No one except the future GOAT Ilya and the legend Poirier 13 years ago have whooped Max. No one. No one. But everyone does fall eventually. And is Max on the decline, Coach Nate? I love that I know that Coach Nate, Toad, they are 100% in the Max beats Charles camp. Larry, Nacho, they're in the 100% Oliveira beats Max camp. I think it seems crazy for John to get that much, but mainly just in comparison to other highest paydays. If the others were where they think they should be, then it wouldn't scream crazy at all. I think the deal that I proposed in the end of the video is very fair. You give him a percentage cut of the weekend's earnings, which he already gets in his new contract that he just signed with the UFC. Before he moved to heavyweight, he signed a new 7-fight contract with the UFC, in which it was expected that he would be moving up to heavyweight, and therefore, presumably, he would be defending the title at heavyweight. The problem is, the annoyance that I have with this is, we have already negotiated with John Jones what he would get paid for his next 7 fights if they were to happen at heavyweight. We've already done this. And he wants more money now, because now it's a challenge. Go fuck yourself is the first thing that comes to my mind. We've already had this conversation. But instead of saying, go fuck yourself, I'll be a good boss. Dougie Dana will be a good boss. And I'll give you a percentage cut of the gate, and I'll give you a percentage cut of the merchandise sales on top of what we've already agreed that you're going to get paid for defending your heavyweight title. Volk 50-45'd him in the last one. True, Volk kicked his fucking ass. I actually just started writing an argument, to be honest. I don't know, 300 million, you're right. Probably that's off. It can generate 120 million plus. I think John should be considered for the 30 million. Kenny, have you heard? Did you watch my video? Did you watch my video today? That's definitely fair, and I agree that Tom doesn't have the leverage to ask for it, and just getting the fight with John will set him up to earn way more in every fight after. True. Still doesn't make me want to pay John Jones $30 million. You just said... I didn't say that I was the alter egos. I said I believe that other people in here were the alter egos. Tony, we have had... Tony, what's up, brother? It's good to see you, man. We have had a stream today. Boys, foot emojis in the chat if it's been a good stream today. Foot emojis in the chat if we've had a fucking stream today. We've had a fucking stream today, Tony. This Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway chat, this argument that we have gone on, we haven't experienced this since the boxing tier list. Tony, I would highly recommend going back and listening to this stream from the beginning. It's been madness, mate. Who are you picking between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway at 155 in 2025? Tony, it's been madness. It's been absolutely madness. Whew. I live in an apartment and share a split balcony with someone, and sometimes when I'm hella stoned, I realize I'm talking to, and sometimes yelling by myself, and I realize the windows are open and they could hear me. And sometimes I would just be yelling, Alwa Ak... I don't feel like that's as bad as me just constantly rambling for 8 hours. UFC could easily pay it, though. They could, but why should they? Why should they? And then think about this, man. If they give Jon Jones $30 million for this fight, imagine how every other fucking fighter is going to go into contract negotiations. Think about every single fucking fighter now that wants to go and become a boxer ever since Conor McGregor did it. Or how, like, you've got fighters talking about becoming champ the second they win the belt. Like, Ilia Topuria is already like, I'm done with the belt. I want to be a champ. I know it's the slippery slope fallacy, but quite frankly, I don't think that old Greek bloke was right. I don't think it's a fallacy at all. I think the slippery slope is just projecting the direction that we are heading in accurately and setting up the right bollards to not get there. I don't believe that old Greek cunt got it right. I don't think it's a fallacy at all. I think it's just thinking logically about what could happen in the future. So I don't believe that Jon Jones, for the reasons that I mentioned in the video, deserves the $30 million. And furthermore, I don't think it's a good move from the company to give him $30 million either, to hold the belt hostage against the defending interim champion, when he's already negotiated for his next 7 fights at heavyweight. I'm honestly fucking flabbergasted that anyone thinks that this is a good idea at all. I'm really like, on every level, on a competitive level, on an ethical level, on a business level, I cannot for the life of me see why anyone would think giving Jon Jones $30 million after he has drug cheated his way to the top, signed a 7-fight deal, and already agreed to a certain amount of pay, would give anyone a fucking pay raise for that. I just like... Anyway... Dictator Dougie, oh, you bloody... What's up, Weston? How are you, dude? UFC makes $15 billion a year and pays less than $100 million to its fighter, to all of its fighters. Yeah, they sell an iPhone for like $15,000 and they make them over suicide nets. What is your point, mate? McDonald's makes $1 billion a year selling hamburgers and sells it. What are you arguing? Like, are you arguing capitalism with me? Have you ever watched my stream before? Don't do that. Oh my god, there's so many to get through. Did the Charles Believers think he could beat Islam? Probably. Like the stream, boys, like the stream. Where are we at? We've got a couple of minutes left. Jones will only fight Tom if he gets that $30 million whenever he deserves it or not. It's kind of meaningless. I don't know, it works me up, Toad. It really works me up. Dougie, it's the year 2050 and you have finally reached this goal. What's up, Sniff? How are you, dude? Like the stream. Like the stream. Oh, God. Legal. All right. I honestly think... Tony, what's up, dude? What's up, Thrill House? How are we, boys? What's up, everyone? What's up? Here we go. Tony says, long-time supporter of the channel. I honestly think Charles takes down Max and subs him. 50% of the people agree with you, Tony. Max got his defensive grappling exposed by Ilya and Oliveira. Looks like a D1 wrestler against Chandler. And Oliveira looked like a D1 wrestler against Chandler. Nice one, Tony. Okay, well, it's still 50-50, dude. It's crazy how divided the community is over this one. What's up, Thrill House? Tracking by macros for 6 days now, and the hardest part is done. The second hardest part is telling your mates to fuck off with the dining invites. You fucks are the reason I'm a non-obese unit. Just go out with the boys, drink vodka sodas, order a steak, no chips, and a salad on the side. You'll be right. I think a lot of fighters could have argument to get paid better, but almost... I think a lot of fighters could have the argument to get paid better, but almost couldn't. Do you remember the WMMA fighter Sarah Apler, who was terrible and was crying about fighter pay, and Jake Paul gave her $100K? I don't remember that. Built like an uncle of 9, so you're fucking stacked, mate. You're stacked. Tell him, Dougie. I will say, it's kind of crazy to me how everyone took Rogan saying that's the rumor as if he was confirming it to be an absolute fact. We've been saying he's got one fit. I literally brought that up in the video, Larry. You guys don't watch my videos. I'm realizing now. I make videos. I have 2 channels. I have a live chat channel, and then I have the videos. But yeah, dude, I agree with you. I brought that up. We need to see Jon Jones get flatlined by Tommy Boy. I also said that in the video as well, Chris. I was like, there's a part of me that just wants the UFC to pay it, and that part of me is lust. I lust for that fight. I need to see Aspinall sleep Jones, so fuck it, just pay him. You stroked Francis's cock for getting more money, but now cry when Jones... Because Francis did it the smart way. He went and ripped off a company that was dumb enough to give it to him. But John Jones is coming to this company, which is known for being tight asses and holding their title hostage when he has signed a contract saying that he'll fucking defend it 6 times. There is obviously a difference there, Nacho. Come on, man. There is a difference there. Let it happen. He's already rich as fuck. Jones has been afraid of Rumble, Ngannou, DC at heavyweight. Okay, we're getting to the end. This one I've highlighted is going to be the last one. Jones has already been afraid of Rumble, Ngannou, DC at heavyweight, Prime Stipe, just retire him. I brought that up as well, Coach Nate. He's been a horrible employee. And the GOAT by casuals, and that's like 70% of the fan base, so what can you do? I'd love to see him slept. He won't be the GOAT anymore. How many times have you had toaster? Literally never, Christian Grey. My mum said that I do look like an MMA fighter and said, you know them? Who do I remind you of? And she said, do you know Daniel Cormier? You're the new Cage, Ripper. You're the new Cage. I'm not saying to pay all the fighters better, but the star fighters should be paid better, especially if they're active. Pereira should currently be the highest paid. I don't have a problem with paying them very similar. I think the way that YouTube does this is very, very good. Like, there should be a way to categorize every fighter just by tagging their name, and you should know how many views you get on Fight Pass and on ESPN and BT Sports and KO Sport. You should know how many views each fighter is getting, and they should get a deal that is lined up perfectly with how many views they get. I think that is the fairest way to do it. And then that chart could be exponential. However much profit that they actually bring into the company, you give them a slice of that, like 30%. That I'd be totally okay with. UFC's annual revenue is about 1.5 billion, not 15 billion. Revenue is irrelevant when it comes down to profit. Profit. How much profit are they making? I want to see John get destroyed, so I don't really care about him getting paid too much. I brought that up. I was like, I'd just fucking pay him so we can see him knocked out. I do, just not always the same day you go live. I will after. I do, just not always the same day. Oh, when you go back and listen to them? Yep. Would Charles win? I think so if he fights smart. Could Wax win? Also, yes. But I think it would require Oliveira fighting dumb and or Max leveling up his defensive grappling. That seems to be how we get to this 50-50 split down the chat. That seems to be right on point, Tony Two Studs. But do go back and listen to the live stream. No way, Dougie, that's way too efficient. If you don't read my comment directly under the highlighted comment, at least refund Eric. Eric never paid me. Okay, so even better for John to fuck over the company that normally fucks over the fighters. I don't get your logic. Why would you want the company that entertains us every single week to get fucked over? This UFC is the company that has saved us from boredom over and over again. Why would you want them to get fucked over? They have fixed combat sports for us. It used to be boxing. Look at the PFL. Again, look at the PFL. This is a... Thank you for the $5. Better get my name on your socks. On my socks? What on the socks? Thank you, Jesus. Your name's already going on the t-shirt, and it will continue to go on the t-shirt. Thank you very much for the $5, man. I really appreciate it. Boys, that's it. We're out of here. Because Dana is a piece of shit. It keeps him humble to take the loss. Power slap is his loss. We'll pick this one up, Nacho. Remind me about this at the start of the next stream. We'll pick it up, boys. Boys, I'm out of here. That was a ripper of a stream. An absolute ripper of a stream. Is No Chill MMA live? Let's go have a look. And see if No Chill's live. And we'll go raid No Chill. He needs the subscribers. You know what I'm saying, boys? He needs the help. You know, it's a race to tooth. He's not live anymore, the bastard. Okay, I'm out of here. Fuck it. We're not rating anyone. Boys, great stream. Tony, go back and listen to it. Great stream. Larry, well argued, sir. Didn't seem to change the chat one bit, but very, very well argued. Well played. Nacho, as always, game well played. Toad and Coach Nathan, you fought hard for Max Holloway. You fought very, very hard. Kenny, Ripper, well done on being here first. Eric, you never donated $100. Stop it. Christian Grey, have a good night in Canada. Bilal, I hope you finish work soon, mate. Don't keep welding. Thrill House, good to see you again. Tony, thanks for popping in. This is going to be the regular timeline again. We're all back. That's it. Video tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about. Might cover the new fights. Might talk about Dana White working with Meta now. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of news. We'll get to it all during the week. Boys, I'm out of here. You have yourselves a good night, a good day, wherever you're from. See you in the next one. Bye. Peace, peace, peace. Of course, brother. Of course, Larry. Of course, man. It was a good comment. See ya, boys. JDV Red, JVD, Dougie Debate. Now we're out.